And just in case you don't know who I am, my name is Jason Hamilton. I'm the author of about 20 different fantasy titles in various stages of development, and I built the largest YouTube channel.
That's the best writing credit I have ever heard in my life. I am an author of about 20 novels in various stages of development. I haven't finished shit, and I probably haven't sold anything either. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Do we got some? Let's see some.
Jack couldn't move. Her breathing increased, and she tried to bring her arms to her sides to push herself out of bed. Her arms stayed where they were. What was going on?
The nerdy novelist is a guy on the internet. All right, the nerdy novelist needs an introduction because no one knows who the fuck he is. I think this is the same guy. I'm like about 99% sure. Although they do make a lot of replica whites in the same shape and disposition. He was in the Into the Thorns video that we watched a while ago with the little rabbit person, and he's basically like a failed Patterson, right? Who is that guy? Who is that fucking guy? The Wind, Jesus, Way of the King, Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson is the name I'm trying to remember. He's basically like a failed Sandersonian style writer, right? Who started making AI novels. I don't know why you would ever do that. I would sooner kill myself than ever do that. I really think that if I was ever to the point where I was like, you can't write anymore, would you want to use ChatGPT? No, I would just, that's it. I'm done. I don't even like working with other people, much less other people's stolen ideas. But this guy has released a video, master these basics if you want to write with AI, which is crazy because the only basics I had to master were just like 20 plus years of studying the English language and reading probably fucking hundreds, if not thousands of books. No way to keep track. I don't do all the... You should write about... You should log every book you read into Goodreads and stuff. I don't do all that shit. But I guess instead of doing that, you can take this guy's tips to write with an AI book. So we're gonna go ahead and listen to a few of these, and I'm going to... I'm probably going to respond with polite understanding to the things he says. What?
Everything I'm about to cover in this video is the kind of basic information and terms and like a glossary index of what you need to know as an author who wants to use AI. A lot of even experienced people who write with AI.
Oh, are we changing that now? A writer who wants to write with AI and not just an AI writer. All right, we're dispossessing from Shad. No longer an AI artist. I'm an artist who uses AI. Okay. I
don't understand a lot of these terms that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So I want to make sure you have all of these systems and terms in mind so that you can understand how AI works and how you can help it best serve you as...
Question immediately. Why haven't you already asked ChatGPT this? Doesn't that make sense? If by the way, if you're watching my reaction to it and you have not already done that, why would you not just ask like the thing that writes for you what to write or how to use it? Like, wouldn't it? Why would someone go to you? What the fuck good are you? Why doesn't it just tell you how to use it? Like, what the fuck is the point? What the fuck is the point of the Think For You program if I also have to involve top fucking frozen yogurt of the day purchaser Sam here? This fucking
an author. So let's dive in.
Shad, but North American. True.
The first thing that I wish more people understood is the difference between a large language model, or LLM, and a tool like a chatbot or another what we call wrapper tools. And to help with this, I like to use an analogy of electricity and an appliance. You can use electricity in a variety of different ways. Obviously, if you're in your kitchen and you have a food processor and a microwave
I'm sorry, what?
and a blender.
What is this guy?
Your kitchen and you have a food processor.
I can't tell this is an AI video or just the most completely pointless fucking stock video I've ever seen. But there's just something to me about, like, I'm going to make a cooking metaphor, and the video that I'm going to use in my cooking metaphor has to quite possibly be the whitest cooking I've ever shown anyone. At the best, if this is real, this is a person in a fucking a kitchen with no texture on the cabinets, a microwave oven, right? And just no featureless, utterly featureless fucking room, cooking, I guess, liquid eggs. I don't know why I'm saying that like that, but liquid eggs in a pan with one fucking one plastic spice jar and just finger flicking a pouch of who knows what into it. This has to be AI. I just like it. I like to think that this guy put this into AI, and it just was like, I'm going to return a result for you that's so fucking white, it actually just gives the fucking Senate one more seat. I'm going to give you a fucking result that's so white, Strom Thurmond would fucking vote for it. You know what I mean? What in the absolute shit, bro? That is incredible. Also, this is just the guy from Toy Story, right? Isn't that the Toy Story kid?
And a microwave and a blender, all of them use the same electricity, but they use it in different ways. And in this case, the large language model is like the electricity. It's the raw power that is creating the results that you want. However, you can have a tool.
Dude, this is crazy.
Creating large language.
This guy is so dude, this is great. This is the lead poisoning of my generation. This guy has to be my age. He's fucking Chat GPT. He's so fucking cooked. Look how many cuts he has to put in this fucking video to get through his dog ass bullshit fucking metaphor he put together.
Model is like and
Watch
a microwave and a blender. All of them use the same electricity, but they use it in different ways. And in this case, the large language model is like the electricity. It's the raw power that is creating the results that you want. However, you can have a tool which is similar to the appliance that uses that power in unique ways. And it might be more useful for a writer versus a...
My man did so much effort to get the word creative nestled into that sentence. Here's the funniest fucking part. You're talking about a system that uses electricity. So it's not the electricity going to the blender and stuff. It already has electricity into it. But if you have to say it's putting the ideas. It's the stolen content that's putting it. It's the grist. What you're talking about is grist. It's the pink slime that's being reshaped into a series of different patties, is what you wanted to say. It's the pink slime from the fucking meat packing facility made out of all those fucking pulped lips and anuses being shoved into intestine sacs to be cooked and sold for people. Getting pressed into fucking chicken nuggies and all that sort of shit. That's what it is. It's the pink slime being repurposed. Energy. How dare you compare stolen fucking material to the noble electron? The noble that is the most Venture Brothers statement I've ever uttered. The noble electron. No, that would be Jonas Sr. The noble electron. Though small, it powers almost the entirety of this facility today. Venture Brothers ass statement. Like, wait, what? What's not But Dad, what's not powered by electrons? Well, Rusty, you. Really? Oh my God. Oh.
coder
I'm done.
or what
I'm
have you. So you might have a wrapper tool that's specifically geared in a workflow format for someone who wants to code. And you might have another one that uses the same large language model that is using it for writing or whatever the case is. And even chatbots, which
Bro,
we
why are
often
there so many
think as
cuts?
being synonymous with an AI large language model, things like ChatGPT or Claude, these chatbots are actually
Dude.
wrapper tools in them.
He's so fucking chopped. I'm always worried. Are you using like a remove silences and thinking words type deal? I love that. That's one of my favorite. You always know you're talking to a real fucking lead paint aficionado. They're like, you use a lot of uhs and ums. Like, bro, that is the sound of thinking. That is what consideration sounds like when it's made audible, you stupid fuck. Dude, people stopped making that one. I just want to rewind the clock to like fucking 2 years ago. Somebody was trying to drop that shit in here. I fucking ate him alive. Oh, God damn. I think I remember that one. I hurt that guy's fucking like soul. Oh, you say and a lot? Like, I don't get. Yeah, I'm fucking thinking, you dipshit. What? That's a placeholder word for thought. The fuck? It's extemporaneous thinking. Can you even use as many words as I'm using off the top of my fucking head without just stalling completely? I've taught myself to just be quiet. Dead air? You're doing dead air instead, you fucking moron? But either way, this guy is fucking choked. And I don't know if he doesn't know the thing. What? Like, his face is just searching. Like, he's like riddled. Like, why are you trying to write? Bro, give up on it. You should do shit like push lawnmowers and cook fucking like burgers and shit. You could be grilling. You could be chilling and grilling. But instead, you're just stumbling your way through the most awful written version of some already no one needs to hear this shit. No person of value will ever take your advice. Not a single fucking one. There's not going to be a single person that ever takes advice from this guy that's going to make something worthwhile. Like, oh shit, dude. I was listening to fucking the nerdy novelist teach me how to use ChatGPT and fucking Claude. And I just made like the best novel ever. Like, wow, people are really going like, holy shit, we needed this. Yeah, I know, right? I typed some shit in and it made like, bro, this is the fucking like the new Finnegan's Wake. Probably would come out looking like the Finnegan's Wake.
Themselves, they are actually really simple wrapper tools that all they have is a simple chat interface and maybe a few other bells and whistles. But if I go to say ChatGPT here, you can see up here in the corner I can select between different large language models. ChatGPT is not the same as a large language model. It is simply a tool that incorporates a large language model into it like an appliance uses electricity. Now, where this metaphor breaks down a little bit is the fact that there are multiple LLMs, and as far as I know, there's not multiple types of electricity, right? That slight difference in each.
Hey, yo, this is a guy with a story to tell. This is a mind that the world has needed so bad to share its thoughts with all y'all. That, like, thank God we democratized art. So the guy that, I don't know this, but the metaphor kind of falling apart. What the fuck is this Officer Doofy shit, bro? Are you secretly gonna be the bad guy all along? Are we gonna get a usual suspects moment here, Kaiser Soze? What in the fuck is, I cannot imagine speaking this badly in a scripted fucking video. Do you want, like, are you really witnessing the difference between somebody that fucking can fuck with the, I fuck the English language in half, boy. I fuck it. It's my bread and butter. I'm so fucking good at it because all I do is practice it. I yap, I write, I rap. No, I don't. But I fucking talk mad shit because I practice it all the fucking time. I look at myself when I'm talking. I learn how to fucking make my face look funny or sad or serious to fit the situation. This is a fucking scripted video, homie, and you are a gibbering sack of fucking worthless ideas. I cannot really impress upon you how fucking no I am reacting to you sharing anything about how to be creative on this world. I wouldn't trust you to fucking operate Doc. You know what I mean? Like fucking just word 2005 might be beating your fucking ass. Like, what the fuck is that? Why is the number going up? I didn't want numbers. I wanted words. Like, this is a word count, homie. But it's so high. Oh, yeah, you have it set to character count. A thing no one's ever needed except for the person who needs it really bad and wishes people would use it because you keep going over your character count. Did you know exactly how many W spaces there are? Fucking old print stuff. But bro, like, maybe this is indicative of the fact that you ain't got shit to say and you're actually a fucking detriment to the thing that you think you like. Like, you sound like shit. This is a writer to a writer or whatever the fuck it is you think you are. You sound stupid. Like, really dumb. Like you fucking huffed a bunch of air duster before you started talking. And I think I've seen you do another video before, and I don't think you looked as dumb. I think you might be fucking brain rotting yourself. Like, you're in some version of like a cognitive decline that is being observed. That would actually probably be a good video series. Just watching one of these fucking chat GPT fucks just like literally cook their entire fucking frontal cortex video by video by video. That's not, bro, you can't fucking handle a metaphor about the system you're using to steal other people's abilities and create metaphors for you is a fucking indicator that the ship is under the water. You are breathing water. I feel like art should be democratized. Everybody should be able to write a novel. No, they shouldn't. It's actually one of the hardest fucking things you'll ever do is to commit the sheer amount of time and effort that it takes to write a novel, much less read it another 10 times after you wrote it and keep editing it until it doesn't actually suck anymore. And I don't think you got that in you. I don't think that you're capable of writing a fucking YouTube video. Like, homie, you sound stupid. Like, I gotta tell you that. I gotta really hammer that home. You sound like a fucking moron. And it's not because of the points you're making. It's because of your inability to deliver them. I was just watching Shadiversity and Quartering, Jeremy the Quartering, the guy from Brie Larson's fucking linen closet, right? The Quartering is more like animated and interesting and seems more grounded in his ability to talk than you do. Like, I think the Quartering skipped out on cooking his brain completely with the fucking chat GPT. And it's actually a night and day difference. Like, bro, you talk like you have a fucking serious learning disability that precludes you from being able to read or write. So what in the fuck are you even doing? Like, what is this? Like, why bother with these things? What are you going to get out of it? What are you going to do with it? Like, what's the character that needs to come to life? If you can't get through, so it's like the electricity, but I don't think they've made different types of electricity yet. Took you a while to get to that. I turned that whole thing into a Venture Brothers skit. I still arrived at the same point. Almost the entire facility is operated off of the mighty electron. And you're just like fucking hanging back here, dude. It's crazy. I mean, actually, there are different types of energy. I mean, that's just one type of electricity because it's electrons. Electricity, you know? There's a lot of different types of energy. It's like a bunch, but most of it's steam and thermal. Either way.
Form of electricity, each large language model kind of has its own kind of strengths and weaknesses, but by itself,
here you go.
a large.
Here you go. I figured it out for you. Sorry, it took me 2 fucking seconds. What you say instead is, and ChatGPT for you. So there's a lot of different types of energy that you see in a kitchen. This tool, a stove, is obviously going to be using electricity, but it turns it into heat, right? So it modifies the electricity into a heat energy. There's also gas energy in here. Oh, shit, fuck it. We'll go back. So your microwave can heat stuff with electric energy turned into microwaves. This stove is gas. It uses gas in order to turn it into fire, which is a heat energy that uses stuff to cook. There's a lot of different types of energy in the kitchen, and it goes to different types of tools in order to do different types of things. Some energy is more robust than others and can provide more than just heat. You can turn the electric that goes to your mixer, right, into a rotary energy that spins stuff, right, and mixes things mechanically. Whereas this chemical energy of heat usually mixes it chemically, right? And it changes it. So you can get all these different types of outcomes. That's what happens if you fucking read like a book a year. My dude. Like you're cooking yourself out of it. Like I can do your fucking video better than you while also insulting you. And that's like that's a rough position to be in, is like that fucking stupid. That's crazy. Like you shouldn't be teaching people to do this stuff. It's killing you, I think. I think you're dying from it. Like it's making you a less valuable human, because who the fuck would want to talk to you? And that's what a book is. Like a real book is like a conversation, right? For hours upon hours where only one side talks and the other side just absorbs and goes like crazy with it. You can imagine different concepts. You put yourself in and out of situations. Maybe it's a very like detail focused journey through a fucking series of events. Maybe it's just like a really cerebral way of dancing around different issues and stuff. And there's a million different ways to do that kind of thing. But like, I can't imagine what the fuck you have to offer, because like, I think that's the first time I've heard you try to do a little bit of writing. You metaphorized a concept in order to make it more universally available to other people. That's a foundational element of writing, and you fucked it up. You fucking completely fumbled the bag on it, which is nuts. Because now you're like, oh fuck, well I metaphorized this, and okay, let me teach you how to write real quick. Let me give you actual writing advice. Metaphorizing is a foundational element of writing. Why? Because it allows people to approach an alien concept with common, approachable attributes being added to it. It's one of the reasons analogies, which are similar, or similes, which are similar, and we're going to the thing, are so important, and why they were on tests and stuff all the time back in the day. Because understanding how they work, how they operate, how to make one, and then more deeply, how to understand what is and isn't valuable as a metaphor, and all of that is the foundational element of communication, and it's important for communication for things that are highly, highly, highly intensive. If you look at any science educator ever, and even their books that they write for each other at the highest level, because you're a STEM head, they metaphorize all the time. This is like, did you know that the universe, if it was a football field, Earth would be on the 1 yard line, the moon would be almost imperceptibly behind it on the same 1 yard line, and Pluto would be in a different field on another side of the country. You've heard that? That's metaphorizing. Okay, you've taken an alien or extreme or beyond simple comprehension concept, and you've boiled it down into something that somebody can understand based on simple terms. This is metaphorizing. If you cannot metaphorize, you cannot write. Because if you can't handle moving into and out of abstraction in order to relay alien ideas in a commonplace area, then you cannot explain. You can't explain anything. Ever. That's why if you think back to when you were a kid, you're like, this is just like when we do this. It's just like when we do this. But there's this new thing. You are metaphorizing, you're symbolizing, you are relating, right? It's creating relatability between concepts. It is a foundational aspect of creativity. It is also one of the things that ChatGPT is incapable of actually doing, because it doesn't have imagination, and it doesn't have experience, and it doesn't have understanding of people. So at best, it can relay a metaphor that it's been programmed into it, or look one up and say, like, this is an example of a metaphor, but it can't metaphorize, which makes it unable to engage in communication, because it can't actually do the thing. It can basically, at best, probably do a simile or an analogy, but like true metaphor, right? I mean, you were doing similes technically, but true metaphor, you know what I mean? Making something seem like another thing so that someone can understand the first thing is foundational. And your inability to do this in the most simplistic way, to analogize in this case between the core components of what make an AI functional and things in a kitchen, shows both a lack of familiarity with kitchens, which is crazy given the size of you, but also like an inability to do the foundational thing that you are trying to teach people how to approach using these tools, which makes you an unsuitable teacher ultimately. And that's like, kind of nuts that you're not picking up on it, but it's also really indicative of how bad these systems are for people, that you don't pick up on it and you can't understand that you're falling short of the thing that you would be doing if you could do it, while you're teaching people how to do it with the thing that makes you unable to do it accurately. It's kind of awesome. In a sense, you're actually engaging with what we might like refer to as the Dadaist movement. You're teaching a tutorial on how to do something worse while actually giving a great example of why not to engage with your tutorial and wholeheartedly creating your tutorial. It's awesome in its complex amount of dog shit that it is.
Language model needs some kind of tool built around it in order to really interface with it effectively. Otherwise, it's just a simple prompt and a response. It doesn't have memory. It doesn't have a whole lot of features. All right, the second thing I want to make sure I get across to you is the difference between regular models and reasoning models. Now, this is a relatively new development, at least new in the world of AI, where we started to get these reasoning models that think before they give you an answer. And by doing so, they actually give you usually higher quality answers, and they're particularly good for any kind of task that involves reasoning, or something that a human would actually spend time to think about it. In the writing world, the best cases for reasoning models are things like editing, because before, when you had a large language model, it wouldn't necessarily give you good advice about your book. If you gave it your book and said, hey, please edit this book for me, it wouldn't necessarily do a good job, because it would give you stuff that sounds like what an editor would say, but it wasn't able to actually analyze and think and make decisions based on the book that it's reading. It just gave you stuff that sounded correct. Now,
so when we think about that, why would the one use case where you could actually find a comparative moment to find that the information you're being given is not good and just is trying to deceive you into appearing as good information, why do you take that use case and then not apply it to the rest of the system to see whether or not that's carrying over? Because here's the thing, reading 60,000 words is hard. I think that these AI novels put out roughly the 65K industry standard novel. That's a plain novel, is about 65K. First or second Harry Potter book, about that big. A Harry Potter book. And it takes a long time to read those and then edit them, right? To make sure that they're good. So I don't even know if this guy's ever actually read his dog shit AI novels, right? If you're just trying to put 65,000 words down on a piece of paper, first, if you just type them, that's what I usually do. I just make shit up and then I just do it for a really long time and I got a whole fucking novel's worth. It's actually that fucking easy. But if you're using a system that gives you information that's bad and it's ineffective, it just looks like it's good, why do you think that doesn't carry over to fictional elements? Like, why don't you think that that's the case? Especially fictional elements that have to create a chain of continuity for 65,000 plus words, right? If you're trying to get to standardized novel length or even a short story, 5 to 25,000. Why do you think that that's not different? Like, why are you stupid enough really to not fucking make that connection? And then you would add another thing in to fix it for you. But at what point are you doing anything of value here, right? What you're really, most of you fucking morons are trying to do is look up a good book to read, I think. Or just you want to be responsible for making something without having to put any effort in, which is a disgusting way to exist. I mean, it's a pathetic outlook on life. I hope you don't have kids that you're ruining with that fucking kind of mentality, but like,
a thinking model, while
talking.
not perfect in that regard, is much better at actually thinking through what may or may not be a problem with your book, and it's able to give you much better answers. There are other useful applications of thinking models that are usually good for brainstorming or outlining, anything that requires a little bit heavier thought they're particularly good at. But there are still really good use cases for non-reasoning models. Particularly for some reason, the actual writing of prose tends to be better, or at least the same for a cheaper price as the reasoning models. So something that I recommend for a cheaper reading of prose tends to be better, or at least the same for a cheaper price as the reasoning models. So something that I recommend for pretty much all authors is this idea that you should test out which large language models do what. Because not only are they all different and they have different strengths, but you have your reasoning versus your non-reasoning, and you should definitely check out with every prompt that you have that you use regularly, you should definitely test which one is better for one or the other. All right, the next thing I want to be clear on is
here's the thing. Okay, let me help you. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you how to teach. So when you're describing a problem, okay, and don't let me talk down to you any more than I already have. I regain whatever self-confidence you might need. When you're describing a problem, it's good to give an example of it. There's a foundational element of writing. Is that when you're trying to describe something, providing an example of it is usually required. Now, what you did here in the last few minutes of gutter sucking that you did was say you should possibly go with one thing over another thing. There's a cost-benefit analysis for you to do, and you should do it. You didn't, however, actually provide an example of what the fuck you're talking about, which is going to be good because it'll help people decide where the fucking cost-benefit ratio weight is to be, decided. If you would have showed me your large language model and it would have put out a sentence, we'll say, see spot, run, and then the thinking model said just see spot, I would have to go, okay, well, this one gives me a lot more words, but this one actually, functionally speaking, gave me a whole sentence that's grammatically correct. And then I could choose which one I wanted more. And you could give me a series of these examples. Well, when you're using this is the output. Now, I know that might be difficult. You seem like a very lazy person, just both from the way that you talk and your kind of presence on the internet, but also, the physicality of you. I don't think that you probably want to do all that work, so maybe you should type into ChatGPT to give you an example of what ChatGPT does when ChatGPT makes a mistake. And using your abilities as a human being who's worth listening to and has the comprehension of English enough to figure out whether or not prose is good, you could say whether or not that ChatGPT output is good and put it up on screen. Hey, this is a good output. This is a bad one. And then what you do after that is you use the other thing, whatever, the fucking thinking model, right? And then you run it through the same thing. This is called an experiment, right? You run it through the same tests and all that sort of shit, and you compare stuff. Now, a real hard experiment is going to have controls and all sorts of other shit, but you explain these things by showing them. And then I'll know what the fuck you are fucking talking about. But telling me, hey, I don't know if you know this, but there's two things out there. And one of them does the thing, and then the other one does the thing too, but the other one's more expensive, but it's also a little bit better. That is worthless. Okay, you are the guy, if you've never had friends, which might be possible, there's a guy, this might be you actually, who will be like, I don't know if you guys know this, but some things happened last weekend. And man, y'all should have been there. And then everyone goes, can you shut the fuck up? Man, I don't know. I was at the pizza place the other day, and I bought a pizza, and it wasn't as big as I thought it was. Oh, yeah? Yeah, but it still costs as much as my normal pizza place. Well, what's your normal pizza place called? I can't remember. What's the pizza place you went to called? I can't remember. Okay, next time you think about talking, just shut the fuck up instead. All right, there, Gary? What the fuck was that? This is crazy. I just can't.
It is a context window and a...
This would be humiliating. If you had the capacity to understand how embarrassing this is for you, it would be shocking. I gotta tell you that. But this is like me talking to a fish and being like, bro, if only you knew the glories of feet. It's really difficult. The best way to metaphorize this for you is, you know how like in Lovecraftian things, you're like, humans can't understand this thing because it's so beyond their comprehension that it would like drive them fucking crazy, right? And they would go explode, right? But like also, if it didn't just kill them because it was beyond their comprehension, it would still be beyond it and it would be like very shocking. I guess that's what it would be like for you. Like, I'm like an eldritch horror almost, because I have the power of sapience. And self-awareness. And it's really like, oh, I know the perfect one. There's a GIF online where it's like, it might even be like a little bit of video on TikTok that people share every once in a while, where there's like a human, like a guy. It's like, it might be that David Attenborough. And they're talking about like animals using tools, right? And they give tools to a fucking orangutan, and he's got like a nail and a hammer and a board. And the orangutan, they show the orangutan, like a human goes clink, 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 and he taps the nail in, right? And then the orangutan just can't get the order right. It just starts hitting the fucking board with the hammer sideways, and it pokes the board with the nail, and it tries to hit the hammer with the nail. And it's just doing all kinds of goofy shit. And they're like the animals can use some basic tools, but the real fucking good ones are completely out of, it's done. Multiple simple tools at once is too much. Like finger extender stick, yeah, which a 2-year-old would do. You know what I mean? I see a hole, I'm gonna poke some shit into it. That's what it's like watching you talk about writing. I really can't get you there. I don't think you have the capacity to understand this, but because you're also still technically human, and I don't want people to fall into the same trap that destroyed your fucking ability to reason like a human does, I gotta make fun of you. The point of that isn't to hurt you. You're expendable. That's why I'm doing it. The point is to make it so that other people seeing you will say, God damn, if that was me, I'd want to fucking blow my brains out. You'll probably never get there. You might be too fucking baked to actually see how fucking stupid you look. But everybody else will go like, fucking there, but for the grace of, well, not God in this case, but just Tyler talking shit, go I. That's kind of the thing. I'm making an example of you. Like I was talking about before, the example. See how I do the thing while I'm explaining to you how fucking stupid you look, knowing you may never watch this and I'm actually just talking to my audience? That's fundamental writing. Congratulations. You just fucking passed minute 7 of day 1 of freshman comp. God damn it, dude.
Token. These are terms you'll hear a lot around AI, and let me explain them a little bit for you. First, if we come into OpenRouter, which is a tool you'll see me use, it's not really important for this video, but in OpenRouter.ai, you can kind of look at pretty much all of the large language models that are publicly available on the market. Not everything, but the vast majority. And so if we look at one of them,
just pause it again. This should be a point if you're talking about stuff where you describe all of them and then you just say some of the ones. If you say it doesn't have all of them, just say some of the ones it doesn't have. Is there a possibility you actually don't know what the other ones are? This is a guy, I've seen him pitched as a fucking expert on this sort of like using this sort of stuff. I mean, he certainly is pitching himself as an expert. And it's like, okay, if I was talking about, there's some art creation programs out there. I use Krita, okay, because it's free and it's really, really good for digital painting and stuff. It's very, very solid. It does all the layering and things that you could possibly need for most basic, simple, low-level art projects. There's other ones out there like Clip Studio Paint and Photoshop, okay? And then there's other things that you can still get the same results out of that are slightly different in their operations, like Adobe Illustrator and GIMP and all sorts of other stuff. That's what you should do. You see how long it took me about the exact same amount of time as you? If you show a product, you describe it. That's how you teach people. This is a fundamental. We're back to examples. Oh, man.
Whatever's here, you'll see it has a 96K context window. And if you look at others, like let's look at some of the big ones here, like Llama 4 Maverick has a 1.05 million context window. Now, it just so happens with Llama 4, like I wouldn't trust this based on the reports I'm hearing, but technically it has that big of a context window. What that means is that it can process in this case, over 1 million tokens in its prompt. So you can give it enormous prompt with 1 million tokens. It'll be able to read everything and understand everything in theory within that prompt. So with a 1 million context window, that's actually really large. In theory, you should be able to have it, like you could have it read all of your organization's documents, all of your books, whatever, and it would be able to understand all of that. Now, in some cases, that isn't always the case. It doesn't really turn out that way. There's this thing called the needle in the haystack problem, where if you give it a whole bunch of stuff, it actually gets worse at identifying small bits of information, kind of like a human would, honestly. But regardless, you should be able to give it a massive amount of context in this case and have it understand that.
Why the fuck is your camera zooming in and out on you slowly back and forth? Is this like some algo thing, or did it just do the... Hold on, I'm gonna need that. Thank you. Thumbnail.
But first we have to understand what exactly is a token. Because a token is not the same as words. This is not the same as 1 million words that it can understand. A token is a specific unit that an AI uses to read text, and not all large language models use tokens in the same way. If we go to this tool developed by OpenAI, you can see how the OpenAI models look at tokens. So if I just like copy this text here and place it in here, we can now see exactly what these tokens look like. And so you might have, a lot of them do translate to single words, like, language models process text using tokens. Those are all individual words or processed as one token. But then we have the comma is also a single token. You'll see punctuation is often a single token. But you also have words like this. OpenAI's is actually 3 tokens.
Okay. I'm gonna explain to you what I'm gonna want from this. Now, what you had before was this exact same series of sentences and words, whatever. Before, the words looked exactly like they did, but there were not a series of things highlighting them. The most interesting thing happening right now is that there's colors on all of the words. I don't know what the colors mean. That's what you're supposed to be doing. I'm sure right then, a helpful rule of thumb is that 1 token generally corresponds to about 4 characters of text for common English text. This translates to roughly 3/4 of a word, so 100 tokens equals right around 75 words. If you need programmatic interface for tokenizing text, check out our TikToken package for Python. For JavaScript, the community supported package works with most GPT models. There you go. Thank you, by the way. What in the fuck is the valuation between these? Is it just how it's broken down? Is it different? Why is it in colors? What the fuck is happening? Why did you have to do it? Because it says show example. I wonder if that would actually work better. 435 characters, 86 tokens. Okay.
There's open, AI, and then the apostrophe S. You'll also see other words sometimes split up. So over here.
Tell me why it's happening, or don't talk about it. You don't need to talk. If you don't tell me, if you're just like, damn, you just put it down here and I'll highlight, and then some of it highlight, and then some of it don't. You sound like the Idiocracy people. It got what plants crave. This particular individual.
We have tokenized as 2 tokens right there. And in general, so that's just the way it works. So sometimes it splits words up.
Shut the... God damn it. And in general, it's just the way it works. What the fuck is this? Bro, you are a character from a 90s movie. Bro. Oh my God. It's like that Goldilocks zone that people had to get when we weren't allowed to put like actually mentally handicapped people in movies with a normal guy. You never go full X. And then we had to find like a different way of showing somebody's being developmentally disabled, and they would just have like crazy, just the people that did characters in Idiocracy. It's got what plans crave. Like, you are like that in real life. You're doing the bit. And so when you paste it down here, you see it does a highlight. And some of the words will be a whole word to highlight. Some of them will be half a word highlight. And that's just how it works. But not all of them will do this. And some of them will. What the fuck is wrong with you? What is this? What in the fuck is this? Is this a complicated comedy routine? Like, is Tim Heidecker in the background? He's about to pop out like, you're on candid camera, but it's not candid. You're on scripted camera. This is the funniest thing I've ever done. Haha. Maybe Eric, whatever the guy, the other dude, the somehow uglier of the two, will be in the other corner going, meh, meh. What is this?
Sometimes you have a single word per token. Sometimes you have punctuation function as a single token, etc. So the rule of thumb that's pretty widely considered in AI circles is that if you have, say, 100 tokens, that's roughly equivalent to 75 words. So if you look at this million token...
Okay, thank you. You talked for so long to share information slightly reworded that I could see on the page the entire time you were talking. And you said nothing extra. You gave no additional information. Why are they different colors? Is it important, or is it to just differentiate what parts are highlighted? Why are they different colors? Is that that's the most entertaining aspect of it? Is it because different parts are valued at different ways? Are they weighted differently? So you could say it turns it into a token because tokens needed to run it. That's actually be fun. What's his name? They got Dewey Cox character, the guy that plays him would be great. It's Will Ferrell and Dewey Cox, or Will Ferrell and fucking what's his name, yelling at each other. I think that we just figured it out. I don't know. It's a lot of different colors. Yeah, it's a lot of different colors, but it says right here that there's supposed to be at least 100. There's not 100 colors on there. It's like 5. It's at least 20, Daniel. Like, that's what this sounds like. What in the fuck are you? Why are you trying to explain this? Are you actually trying to write any of this on your own? Look how fucking sad he is. What is... Boom, 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 boom. Like, what in the fuck is... He looks like this is... Have you guys ever seen Catfished on MTV? My wife loves that show. I see it when we go to hotels and like MTV will be on, like Catfished with the guy from Catfished. This is what every person in Catfish looks like when the catfisher is it. Catfished is a show about people that pretend to be other people online and then trick people into like falling in love with them or giving them money. It's about scammers basically. When the guy who thought he was dating Su Min, the 5'4" Chinese acrobat who was getting ready to move forever to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and the person that gets out of the car is Darnell from Atlanta, you know, and the person's just watching Darnell come up to the front door, and he's just, you know, chubby dude in a fucking wife beater, like, hey man, what's up? This is the cutout that they use in the bottom. This is the face the guy has when the guy gets out of the car, and there's always bum 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 bum, and then the guy gets out. Oh shit! That just ripped off my fucking headphones. All right. He got a car. And then this guy will be in the corner. This guy will be in the fucking corner down there, just saying like, is Su Min behind him? Is Su Min behind him? Nah, man, it's just me, Darnell. Are you a gymnast? No. Do you want to move to Milwaukee at least? No. Who are you really? I'm a second shift delivery driver for UPS. And you were talking to me? Go ahead and tell them, Darnell. I was talking about 10 people. Did you tell them all you were Su Min, or was Su Min just for me? I told them all I was Su Min. Su Min is a fucking slut. Catfishing! Every fucking time. It is just like the most shocking revelation. I love it. I love that. I love that show. The getting out of the car, but this is the guy. This is what you look like. You know what this is? This is the cuck circle. This is when you become a secondary character in your own life, but they have to show you because your reaction is important. But the most important thing is who's getting out of this car. Because he was getting out of this car. What's happening right now? They put you in the cuck circle. That's what this effect should be. Okay, hey, DaVinci, Resolve, all editors. I'm telling you right now, what this is called is a cuck circle. Okay? For when you find out. Cheaters has the cuck circle. We followed him out to the pier. Well, he's not with anyone, is he? Sharon, we're going to show you some video right now. They put Sharon in the little cuck circle. No, don't put me in the cuck circle. I don't want to know the truth. No one wants to get put in the cuck circle. You put yourself in the cuck circle, though. God damn it, bro. It is the cuck circle. That is the face you have to have when you get put in it. This is all AI individuals. Understand, you are becoming a side character in your own fucking life, and you're going to get put down into the little cuck circle. That's fucking miserable, bro. I got to look up. Hold on. Let me look up. I'm not going to play it. Catfished best reveals. Hard to watch catfish reveal super compilation. I've got to mute this. Let's see. Do they have any of them have the little fucking the PIP? Oh, there's one. Come on, give it to me through the reveal. Give me the reveal. Maybe I am thinking of cheaters. Catfish 2 base. Catfish doesn't have the cuck circle. How about cheaters? I don't know what the fuck happens in Cheaters season 6, episode 6, but this lady I think is gonna kill somebody. Come on. Oh, dude. That's the closest I got. Does nobody have this? I'd have to rewatch all these fucking things. I know I've seen it before, though. Maybe it's because all the best ones are when they go out and confront everybody, and then everyone's in the big picture together. But this is real. That's the cuck circle.
In context window, you can assume that you can fit in at least 750,000 words into that context window. So that's enough for several books that you could put in there and have it read. Now, once again, the needle...
It's like fucking 3 fantasy novels. Understand that. 750,000 words sounds like a lot until you realize the average Stephen King book has about 200K words. I remember one of my all-time highest word like writing years, right? It was 200 and no, fuck, it was 500,000. I wrote 500,000 words in a year, right? Because I was working full-time on a show and also wrote a novel that was gigantic. And like, yeah, that's not a lot. That it might be like 10 or 11-ish very small airports. It's or airport novels, right? Like your Gillian Flynn, you know, those little floppy 5x7 trade paperbacks. What are those? But like when you start getting into like Michael Crichton, fucking Tom Clancy territory, those things are like tomes. That's like 3 books. That's not a lot of words to steal from. I don't know how the fuck you plagiarize from that effect and don't look like what it is. That's crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm hearing it wrong. But if you put that much, that's nothing. That's nowhere near the amount of fucking books I got cooking around in my fucking head. If that's how small, that's not a large language model.
The haystack problem results in, you know, if you give it too much context, it actually...
How many words is Shadow of the Conqueror? I feel like we looked it up. If I had to guess right now off the top of my head, I think it's about 80K. I'm just guessing. I'm guessing off the top of my head. Hold on. Let me look at the audio. I can look at the audiobook length and I'll tell you. Oh my fucking phone is dead. God damn it. Hold on. Audible.com. What am I just Audible Shadow of the Conqueror. Shad Brooks, Shadow of the Conqueror is how long? $18 hours and 30 minutes. So yeah. Longer than that. It's about that's pretty long. It's about 150 to 160,000 words. If I had to guess. Based on that. Yeah, right? Because my typical rubric is it's about 10,000 words for about 10,000 words at a like audiobook pace is usually about an hour of recorded time. So it's probably about 180K, give or take about 20. So I'd say between 150 and between 150K and 180K. Let me see if I can see Shadow of the Conqueror word count. The people don't have word counts on stuff all the time. And don't bother giving me something stupid like pages. That doesn't matter. 519 pages on Kindle length. 500. But 500 pages of what, man? I can't remember how I do. 500. If it's 12 by 8, 500 words is about one page on a 1-inch margin, 12-point font page. But yeah, there's no way to tell.
Performs worse in general. I'm sure that will get better over time. It already has gotten better over time. I would say a standard context window that you'll see on a lot of models is about 200,000. That is plenty for any of the use cases that I have. Usually my prompts do not exceed 15 to 20,000 words. So all I would need is a good, 50,000 context window to feel safe there. I definitely don't need this $1 million context window for my needs as a writer. And if you are putting in entire books into an AI to read, I would be skeptical of the results you're going to get from that. You will get better results by having AI summarize each chapter individually and then taking that summary of your book and using that in your context, because it'll be fewer words but still get the point across of your book if you want it to understand the context. So say you're writing a series and you're writing book 2 and you want to make sure it understands what happened in book 1, don't put your entire book 1 into your context window. Not only will that dilute the prompt a little bit, but it will also cost you a whole lot more money. So I would just summarize that book, summarize each chapter individually, and then provide that summary in the context. So little tricks like that.
What? Hold on now.
You can understand the fewer words, but still get the, and using that in your context, because it'll be fewer words, but still get the point across of your book if you want it to understand the context. So say you're writing a series and you're writing book 2 and you want to make sure it understands what happened in book 1, don't put your entire book 1 into your context window. Not only will that dilute the prompt a little bit, but it will also cost you a whole lot more money. So I would just summarize that book, summarize each chapter individually, and then provide that summary in the context. So little tricks like that make.
That's fucking stupid. Okay, that's going to be the last thing. I can't take anymore. He's dumb as shit. I can't tell you in words how worthless that would be. I mean, I can, and I'm going to. So I don't know why I said that. But I can't tell you in just a few. So continuity is important. And summarizing is hard. One of the things you have to do if you're trying to find a literary agent, which is a dead end, don't waste your time with it these days. Literary agents are a fucking worthless racket. Just get famous on YouTube or something, and then you can sell a book. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time to have somebody get 10% of nothing. But if you do that, or you send your stuff to shit, yeah, you have to summarize. And summarizing's fucking hard because you have a lot of important information in your book. As a matter of fact, all of the information in your book should be so important to the book that it's almost unremovable. This is an aspect of editing. So if you can pass on a book to somebody to say, hey, I want you to write the next chapter of this. I've summarized it for you. Somehow you've managed to take out words. So those words didn't need to be there. This is a non-fundamental, higher-level aspect of writing called deleting stupid shit that you wrote that doesn't need to be in the book. They call it like kill your darlings or some shit, but sometimes you don't have to kill your darlings. Sometimes you have to kill your, why the fuck did I write that? And you also have to kill your, what? And you have to kill your, I can't even read this sentence. And you have to kill your, who is that character? As well as some darlings, okay? Because it's part of the editing process, especially, if you're moving on to a second novel. But also, in addition to that, once that's said, everything else is very important, okay? If you've crossed that step. So there's things that aren't, this is called foreshadowing, all right? That can't be really summarized or explained, but are also not like, it's so important that they're part of like what would be like the factual summary, Book 2, Danny goes to fucking Las Vegas, okay? But what's not covered in that summary, depending on, it can be bigger. I know it can be bigger. Trust me, I know the summary can be bigger. Summary, synopsis, 1-page synopsis, 8-page synopsis, 10-page synopsis, 25-page synopsis, chapter by chapter synopsis, part by part synopsis. Try to write a fucking book synopsis. Try to write a book synopsis that's just 2 paragraphs. Only 2 paragraphs. Everything that's needed in just 2 paragraphs. It's one of the hardest fucking writing exercises you'll ever engage in. And I would not trust an AI to do it. And it's probably the only thing I would want an AI to do. In addition to all those, you have things like somebody's eye color being green, someone's eye color being blue, someone's hair being brown, someone's skin having a scar on the right arm that's like a purplish color, right? That only gets mentioned once. Do you put that in the summary? It's very important, not important, right? Does the thing know to continue that? Like why that person has a scar? Or is your summary handling the actual part of the book that's the book? Subtext? The part of the book that's the book? The lore? The fucking heart of the novel? The thing that makes it different from everything else? Like, is that shit in there? Or are you just doing like, he went a place, he said a thing. He went a place, she said a thing. Like ultimate fucking like shonen trash writing. That stuff always burns out. You get your first, how many, and then like, wow, everyone gasped and he was holding the sword right before it hit the person. Like there's only so much of that you can do, and then you actually have to put a story in at some point. And if you don't, you're competing against the people that draw better than you anyway. How do you fucking trust the thing to do it? Especially considering you seem to be unable to actually edit yourself. So do you even know what's in it? Obviously not. So at a certain point, what is the point of all this? What is this exercise that's going on? Like, what are you making? And why are you bothering with it? Like, I'm tiling a bathroom right now. It's really hard. It might not necessarily to most people be worth the effort, but once it's done, it's done. It's a lot of fucking work. I've never done it before, but then I have a bathroom, right? I have like all this tiled fucking walls and shit. It looks very nice. I'm very happy about it. I get like satisfaction and shit, right? Even if I paid somebody to do it, you know what I mean? Like, I would still get the bathroom. That's kind of the point I'm making. Even if I outsourced it. Maybe even if I stole a house and it had a bathroom at least, like I could just have whatever the fuck I get. Do you know what I mean? But like in this case, not only are you just stealing, you're mutilating what you've stolen so badly that it's not its constituent parts that it was made from anymore. And what you're making literally contravenes every sense of what makes good things good when it comes to literature. You're eliminating the writing process, which is the thing that you're doing. That's the whole thing. Right? You want a book without writing. Go buy one and read it. Well, I want to have written it. Hire a ghostwriter. Because at this point, you're not making anything. And it's not like, oh, in an artistic and cute way. Like, no, you're not making a thing anymore. You could just copy paste shit in. You could just copy paste someone else's book in there and it's going to be better. Because I got the hiccups. I'm trying to kill them away. Because there's not going to be any continuity. The story's going to be unreadable. It's going to be Drek. Like, I need to see, like, does he have, maybe, that's one thing. I'll do it real quick. Work with me on Earth. How to write a good book. Perplexity is my favorite AI tool. 3 levels of writing. Free AI tool is a dream for authors. I read with a book and I did it. New to AI writing. Where is his stuff? AI publishing and news model test. New to AI writing. Where's your writing? He's got a whole channel. Where's the fucking stuff? More on the creative tasks that you love the most. You're not doing anything. Work with me. Storytellingdb.com. Go/storyhackergold. There's no link to like a Kindle page. Story Hacker Gold. $47 a month. AI prompts and templates. Self-publishing roadmap. Live coaches for AI writing art. Accountability calls for authors. School.com. So he sells a what, you can talk to me? What in the fuck is, look at this. Was this in the fucking Into the Thorns video? This motherfucker's just somebody's friend. Have we seen this? If this was in the Into the Thorns, I completely forgot, but I'm just shocked because I clicked through this trying to find a book, and instead what I found is this. $47 a month for the basic thing. AI prompts and templates. This is a fucking OnlyFans. This is an OnlyFans for an irritating cousin instead of like a hot model significant other. Look at this. 697 members. $47 a month. That's got to be, you've got to be able to just write whatever. There's no way. Go from blank page to publish author fast with an AI-powered system used by 500 plus writers. Here you get. Weekly calls with me, $997. Supportive author community to help you find answers to any of your publishing questions. Well, I would need a publishing community to help me with that. $997. Weekly classes on AI writing, art, and what makes good storytelling. $997. Weekly accountability calls, $497. Success path, go from 0 to book in hand, $297. All my published books for authors, $97. Why would I not just ask ChatGPT to make it? What in the fuck? Learn how to spot and edit poor AI writing from a developmental editor. Developmentally fucking disabled. What the fuck? Access to all my prompts, frameworks, and automations, $297. Have off all future courses and workshops, $997 plus. Wait, is this a fucking menu? Or is this the savings? This guy's so bad, he can't even write his fucking thing. I don't know if you can actually get these individually or not. Bonus, my book in a day system, $97. Bonus, how to generate a book cover with AI. Total value, $5,867. Now only $47 a month or $470 a year. 2 months free. What in the fuck is the $997? What in the fuck is this? Oh, please, well, explain it to me. This is buy lighting for the unsettled. Vimeo. There's something dark about a guy being on a Vimeo site. deeply unsettled. I think this might be an AI background, and he's in front of a green screen, or maybe fake green screened him in. This isn't his normal. This isn't his normal setup, is it? I don't know. Maybe it's fine, but I guess I don't know. Maybe he just has so little personality that it looks like this. He's fucking lit up though. Can I zoom on Vimeo? Can I get some zoom in here? I want to look at the reflection of the light in his glasses or his eyes so I can see what he's using. But he's actually got a light. Got gigantic blemish right there, bro. Fuck. Got that fucking he's got that fucking President Sunday fit on. Look at the fucking neckline on that shirt. Does he have a really long neck and a turtleback? Or like bad posture and a fat neck? How do we actually reconcile these shapes? This guy would be an interesting person to draw in an anime.
In this community, we help aspiring authors to not only write and finish their book, but also how to publish and market that book as well. We also teach principles of good storytelling so that you not only create a book, you create a good book. You do not need
Pause. I just figured out what kind of light. I saw it in the reflection of his glasses. He's using a soft box with a mesh on it. You're welcome.
to be a full-time author.
It is, but the
toy
light center.
All you need are proven systems,
toy
a
lightsabers are set to
roadmap,
blue
and
and
step-by-step instructions from people that are actually writing a lot of books. And in this community, you'll get access to a ton of resources that will help you get there.
Does he edit? Do you edit yourself so that you got the Megamind head? Why does it look like his glasses are crushing his fucking dome? This motherfucker got a literal peanut head. How the fuck you do that? Have you ever been on The Proud Family? There's a deep cut for you. You guys remember the peanut head dance off? Y'all on TikTok. You know about the fucking peanut head dance off. He a peanut head. I want this. Fucking the thing is gonna say why he got a peanut head. Gonna get a bigger. There we go. My man has a whole ass peanut head. It looks like he got his head so full of AI ideas that only his glasses are holding the top of his head from exploding. Look, his cheeks are all full up. He goes whomp, whomp, whomp. How the fuck you do that? How the fuck you do that, boy? What in the fuck? My man about to hit me with the fucking no bitches. Bro, what the fuck are them glasses arms made out of? Fucking adamantium? Is that vibranium? You got them fucking Wakanda metal glasses on? You're holding the fucking sides of your head in, bro. Holy shit. Dude, my buddy's fucking frontal cortex all fucking inflated up like he got carnies coming by to set up a bounce house inside him. That's fucking bonkers, dude. I don't know if I'm not looking at AI or not. Like, what in the fuck is happening here? Why are his ears so low set? He got weird fucking ears too, actually. My ears go up off the top. I don't know if you see this. I think this is typical, right? And then my glasses sit like behind him, but his glasses are like on his ear, at least on the right side. Like his ears don't go up; they go like straight out and down. That's crazy. That's crazy. My man's cheeks are so fat they're eating his earlobes. Like he ain't got no earlobe. You know what I'm saying? Bro, experience jealousy. Look at this. Look at this whole ass. Look at my fucking Lego head ass right now going straight up and down. Look, me and this bottle got the same side profile. You can't tell. Look at this. Look at this. I can't actually see it from that angle. Okay. Look. Done. Done. Oh my god, bro! Look like a fucking not even a real peanut. He looks like a circus peanut. You look like you come in a fucking multicolored 12-pack. Cotton candy machine head ass motherfucker, dude. Jesus Christ. How could I not see the tricknology on display here? My dude is Yakubian. There's some serious Yakubian. Dude, I had an idea for the thumbnail, and I think now it's just gonna be Yakub? Question mark. What is that shit? Oh fuck me! No, hold on. Fuck, bro, I'm summoning my lore hounds. Someone has to know. Black Israelites, they say that if you eat something, it will eat part of your brain, right? Is that that's what happened? He's got it. Yakubian caught trying to disintegrate my amygdala. He really does look like he's running a fucking an Intel build in Bloodborne. He's about to start sprouting out extra eyes and shit all over the top of his fucking head. God damn.
First, you'll get access to all of my books for authors for free just for saying maybe to the 7-day free trial.
Like, when he moves his head, look how much fucking ear is revealed. The sheer amount of ear that's hidden behind this man's fucking jowls is crazy, actually. For he doesn't look that fucking fat. But, like, he's got a whole fucking, like, 2 inches of ear hidden behind his fucking, his jowl meat. How the fuck? Look at this. Watch him move his head. It's like an optical illusion.
And in this community, you'll get access to a ton of resources that will help you get there. First, you'll get access to all of my books for authors for free just for saying maybe to the...
He's hiding a whole size ear behind the fucking... this. What in the fuck is... Do you have an infection? Why are you swole up weird? Also, why do you have the fucking Vosh Video... Tinder lighting? This is Bosch Video Tinder pic lighting. My man got the getting strangled to death by Leon S. Kennedy eyes. You know what I mean? You know, fucking my dude's actually, we figured it out. He's carrying Las Plagas. He's got 2 hours to get in that fucking chair. Ada Wong strangling ass eyes.
7-day free trial. Technically speaking, you could come in, take those books and run. I won't hold that against you, but there are a lot of other things that I hope will encourage you to stay. Second, you'll get my proven 5-step system, which will get you not only to write and finish your book, but it will also be published. You will have everything you need.
That's killing me. It is. It's not his glasses really aren't like his fucking cheek jawbone. Look at that fucking forehead crease. Holy shit. My man has pondered. Look at the size of that forehead crease. I gotta work for this. This man. Dude, did the screw-on head people come for him and they only got the top half? My man looks like they put a different piece on him. This angle is crazy. Is this not AI? Look, you can see where they cut the top of his head off and put a new one on. Look at that crease. Where the fuck did that come from? That wasn't there a second ago. Does he have a removable face? Is he like them fucking aliens from Men in Black 1? Remember the little alien living in the guy's head? The robot man? The little alien lives in the robot man's head? Is he about to fucking... I'm dying. Bro's mom was the fat chick Arnold Schwarzenegger hid inside of in Total Recall. There's a fucking... If you don't laugh at that, you're not a fan. If you don't laugh at that, you're not a fucking fan. Looking like Frank's with the stitches across his forehead. Bro, my man, dude, he got that fucking... He's got that fucking Seto. He's got that thing from fucking Jujutsu Kaisen in his fucking head. He's got the little... He could pop that shit open. He's got the little brain with teeth in it. Oh no, he survived the comedian, bro. He survived the comedian. It's Shinji's... It's fucking... What's his name's mom? Oh.
For an email list, many of the people that follow my steps exactly will launch their book to an email list of several hundred people. I've seen it already in this community several times, meaning that you won't...
Bro, a fucking email list of several hundred people to launch a book? Oh, fuck me, man. Watch out now. Fuck. God damn. I'm about to be skyrocketing through the
just
fucking
be launching your book
bestsellers.
to nobody. You'll be launching it to a pre-established audience already. But that's not all. We also have some.
That's not a pre-established audience. That's a fucking mailing list. You can actually get the same thing, and people will actually probably buy 3 copies instead of approximately none if you just join an MFA. I will never join an MFA because I was I'm too skilled to waste my time with a fucking Master of the Fine Arts fucking program and go sit in fucking Vermont and drink coffee and talk about somebody's fucking dead dad and how sad it made them and they got to write about it. But if you just join an MFA program, rip everybody that went to Masters of the Fine Arts, the true fucking lit punk. If you go to like an MFA program or just join a writer's round tree table group, right? You just go join a writing group. They'll also, you could send it to them and they might actually fucking buy the thing because they'll also be guilting you into buying theirs. That's what happens. And it would be better if it's not hundreds, because if it's hundreds, you're going to feel real bad when you don't get that MLM return.
Dedicated people inside of the community to help you succeed. I'm in there, of course, and I specialize in talking about AI for writing, but also not just any old writing, but actually good writing that still uses your creativity. But we also have a developmental editor in there who specializes in just helping you know exactly what makes a good book, because a lot of people who write with AI don't actually understand these principles, and so you can learn in this group. We also have an AI art/graphic design expert who is in there, and he's doing a lot of work telling you like what makes a good book cover, what makes, you know, good typesetting in your book. All of that stuff is super important, and we have a dedicated artist to help you out with that. We also have an accountability coach to kind of help you keep on your goals week in, week out. It is my goal that you will finish and write your first book or your next book, if you've already written a book before, in as little time as possible, so you can understand what is really possible with all of the tools that we have at our disposal today. And again, you don't have to be a full-time writer to do this. You can be just a part-time writer working on this for an hour a day, even half an hour a day, even 15 minutes a day. You can get there with these systems.
You don't need it. If you just write for 15 minutes to an hour a day, you'll still just write a book. You don't need any of this shit. This is so weird. This is actually like a scam for triple morons. No wonder he doesn't mind getting made fun of. Hold on.
Personally, I go live inside of this group every single week, and so you have plenty of opportunity to talk to me and get my feedback. And just in case you don't know who I am, my name is Jason Hamilton. I'm the author of about 20 different fantasy titles in various stages of development, and I built the largest YouTube channel.
That's the best writing credit I have ever heard in my life. I am an author of about 20 novels in various stages of development. I haven't finished shit, and I probably haven't sold anything either. Let's see. Oh, hold on. We got some. Let's see some credits.
My feedback. And just in case you don't know who I am, my name is Jason Hamilton.
Jason Hamilton. Jason Hamilton. Amazon, Kindle. There you go. Out of Shadow, an epic YA fantasy adventure. Roots of Creation, Book 1 on Kindle. Format, Kindle edition. Well, let's just go ahead and fucking make fun of you real quick there. But you know what? I don't think I need to hear any of the rest of that, but let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and check this out. Can I get that a little bit bigger? There we go. Don't look at my stuff. Don't look at my information on Kindle. There's nothing. Okay. See my fucking. Oh no, you guys just. I just hard doxed myself that I live in Lexington. And now you know the Lexington area code. Out of Shadow, an epic YA fantasy adventure. Roots of Creation, Book 1, Kindle edition. Jason Hamilton, format, Kindle edition. Magic in the air, demons on the hunt. To save the kingdom, one girl must uncover her hidden abilities. Oh, I'm going to be clicking that. Yes. In a... Bruh. bruh, 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 bruh. Bro, you have to put fucking an epic YA fantasy adventure on that shit. That's a death sentence. Determined to fulfill his dying wish to prove her worth, sets off on a desperate quest to find her long-lost mother. Knowing she wouldn't last a day alone in the dangerous wilds, she joins a roving band of warriors and throws her full weight into training under the tutelage of a young man who saved her life during the demon attack. That is 2 sentences. But after a tragic encounter ties her fate with the mysterious Shadow Fae, she discovers her greatest source of power doesn't lie in the strength of her sword arm, but in the giving nature of her true magic. With dark forces gathering, can Jack unlock the secrets of her enchanted destiny to save her mother and the kingdom from the clutches of evil? Out of Shadow is a captivating YA fantasy novel. If you like imaginative realms, magical showdowns, and heartfelt coming-of-age stories, then you'll love Jason Hamilton's enchanting tale. Bro, there's nothing there.
Chapter 1. Jack couldn't move. Her breathing increased, and she tried to bring her arms to her sides, to push herself out of bed. Her arms stayed where they were. What was going on?
Allow me to read a sample, please. Okay, let me just see. Chapter 1. All right, let's see. We're just going to read a little bit of this. Yeah, Jack, J-A-K. Jack couldn't move. Her breathing increased, and she tried to bring her arms to her sides, to push herself out of bed. Her arms stayed where they were. I guess I was accurate on that side. Hold on. Come on, Kindle. Come on. Can I just see? Oh, okay. What was going on? Why couldn't she move or see anything? Was she dead? I'm about to roast a bunch of your all's writing too. She tried to thrash about, to move anything, even a finger, but nothing worked. She could still feel herself in her bed, presumably still in her father's small hut on the outskirts of Riverbrook. Presumably, she's right where she fell asleep. I appreciate that. If it was a return to factoid that you would think in such a fucking alien way, that would be great. Presumably, I'm still in Riverbrook. If you actually, dude, Ace Ventura. This sounds like Ace Ventura internal dialogue. What was going on? Why couldn't she move or see anything? Was she dead? She tried to thrash about, to move anything, even a finger, but nothing worked. She could still feel herself in her bed, presumably still in her father's small hut on the outskirts of Riverbrook. It's the external narration you do when you are just pushed to the limit and have to do exposition. But that is raw exposition. Which is bad writing, okay? Like, I wouldn't read more than any of this. If this was, especially if like somebody was asking me, doing me a favor, like, do me a favor and read some of this, I would probably stop here and be like, bro, you gotta work on this again. Let me tell you what they did wrong. This top part here. What was going on? Why couldn't she move or see anything? Was she dead? I'm gonna fucking eat a bunch of you alive right now, and it's gonna hurt. But that is a powerful indicator of a dog shit writer. Powerful, perfect indicator, all right? Because what is happening is you are asking questions instead of answering them, right? Which is what you need. And not only are you, instead of not doing, you're doing the, show, don't tell. You're asking them to ask the question you want them to ask themselves, okay? Or that you're even asking yourself because you don't know what to write. Every time, everyone does this, I do this, okay? And sometimes I think it slaps when I'm writing it down. You have to get rid of it. Answer that question or cut it out or do something. You have to get rid of that. Every time you see it, it's because you didn't know what to or how to write that segment. That's why you asked a question as part of narration. It should never be there. Those narrative questioning like that should be limited to very specific narrative instances, like I'm trying to do a thing with a weird question like that, and it should be a centerpiece of the moment, right? Because you're really changing up the flow. If you put a question mark in something, that's like, okay, we got to stick with this for a second because this needs to be answered. If you see it in writing, it's because the person didn't know what to fucking write. What's going on here? What's happening? Do you actually even ask yourself that, really? Like in your internal dialogue, do you actually say, you go, your confusion manifests itself as answers, by the way. That's what happens to you. That's why reading works. Your confusion manifests itself as answers. Your brain tries to put together the puzzle because it's a really good machine designed just for that. When you start asking the question like that, you're basically saying, not only am I not going to just exposit, I don't even know what I'm going to exposit to get you to ask the question, so I just want you to ask the question. Like every time. Also, yeah, I don't really mind the characters waking up to start a story. I mean, that's a pretty strong indicator that you're kind of starting off with a weak premise, but really people do just wake up at the beginning of the day, right? And, it's 8 hours of any given day are probably you spend sleeping or in some sort of like nestled activity, daydreaming if not. So like, yeah, coming out of a dream and being in the moment is a thing. Starting a story is also very hard. Don't start your stories with people waking up if you're going to avoid it, because a lot of people start their stories with people waking up. Because your story today started probably with you kind of like waking up because you don't know what the fuck happened until you woke up. There's like dreams and stuff, and then you woke up. The other one that people like to harp on is rainstorms. Dark and stormy night, but like we're 150 years down the line kind of deal. So it is what it is. I do think it's better to scene set, right? When we start stuff, I don't know. I guess I'll flex. Should I flex on the haters? I'll share some writing what I did. Let's see. Be fucking hilarious if the first thing I can find in my writing is just me. I woke up to rain on the window. Let's see. WSF Productions. Novels? No, we'll just do a short story. See what's in the shorts. Kudzu, up where the kudzu dies, so it burns. Man, I forgot. Oh, I know which one that is, yeah. Memory of Us. I've already read that one before a little bit. Unsteady Stone. Oh, yeah. Okay, there's a good one, yeah. I can't put my wife's notes in there, so you guys don't get to read it with me. This is I Am the Rain. I haven't actually edited this one. My wife's note is he talks like a crawdad here, but doesn't later. I Am the Rain. She lived out by the quarry like, where the sunset turned the gravel orange and all them big blackbirds nestled up in the holes rainwater ate in them dead machines. Went by the name of Keel, no saying how she spelt it. And she was a looker far as the average woman went in those days. In those places, at least, where we'd all as children washed up in the long flat gaps between the dead Pacific and the shining, sparking ruins of the far cities with all their high, dusty walls and boneyard boulevards. The crack was a faint memory then, carried down into the earth with our grandparents and their parents and our own parents, were the sick and thin and feeble remnant of what the mud boy had forced out of the far cities. They laid about and dried in the sun and died, and we unloved many scraped around in the fiery glass between the fisherfolk towns and the corn lords' long green fields and the eternal, threatening, sand-colored walls of the far cities. So, I don't know, that's how I would start a story, and then did. Which I feel like moves a little faster. You see what I mean? It's scene setting. That's still exposition. It's raw exposition. But first off, the construction of how you write it is so important. Because, I'll just bring it back up and explain what the fuck's going on a little bit. Light spoiler warnings. So what I could have written instead, if I wanted simpler, she lived out by the quarry. Where the sunset turned the gravel orange. So she lived out west by the quarry, near a bunch of old machines. Her name was Keel, which I don't know how she spelled it. This is too good of a detail for this guy's writing. Her name was Keel. She lived out by the quarry in the west. We all lived out there, somewhere near the old Pacific Ocean. That's what writing is. Man, dude, I fucking love this one. I'm sorry. I'm really like wrapped up in my own fucking. Can I read like a couple more sentences? I'll read like 2 more paragraphs. This is fucking, dude, this is a good one. I really can't wait to start re-releasing this stuff again. Sand-colored walls of the Far City is where I was before. Pretty for us, as Keel was. Meant teeth and hair and all your limbs whole and working and none more creeping out here or there from the flesh. Keel had been born to some dead and unknown woman, maybe out there beside the quarry, maybe somewhere else, and raised up not quite alongside us. Me, Grek, and Loke, that is, who all knew each other on account of our parents knew each other, and we alone escaped some corn lord's raid on our village because we could fit into a culvert and nobody else could. We knew plenty others, but they were close enough to me as kin. I could sleep by them and not fear them taking my teeth or my flesh or my blood in the night and gutting me on the insistence of some curse whisperer. I was pretty, compared to them, as I had all my teeth and my skin sat right and straight on my bones. Grek had too much skin, like the big hairless cats the fisher folk would set on us sometimes, when we got too greedy raiding their gutting troughs. Grek, a boy, so far as I knew, had a neck thick and near to his shoulders, and had a great lot of film that held his eyelids to his eyes and his lips to his teeth, but he was fine company otherwise. He would croon in his sleep. Long high notes like as none others I knew, and nothing like any sound he could make when he tried. It was this, mostly, that kept us from getting close to the fisher folk, the only decent sorts out there in that non-place we called home. They had left the cities long before the crack, even, and so they weren't sick like us and had their own deeply set ways about them. Superstitions and the like about curse whisperers and what came of strange throats with stranger voices coming out them in the night. But Grek was my only sort of kin, and the fisher folk weren't some particularly generous or trustworthy sort one could sleep around, so I stuck with Grek. I still gotta fucking edit this, so that's like first draft. I think it's okay.
Hope you enjoyed your time on the Westside.